The Portland real estate market is starting to trend down in a couple of key metrics at a time when things should be starting to trend up. Let's jump into the numbers. I'm RRMilligan, and I'm happy to bring you the very latest in stats and trends for the Portland metro real estate market. In my sample, that's Portland, all of the surrounding communities, plus Southwest Washington. If you have any questions at all, please post them in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as possible. The average sale price had a pretty big swing down from the highs we saw at the end of February to some pretty significant lows over the last couple of weeks. Looking at the most recent week of sales, the average sale price was down about 5% compared to roughly the same time frame last year. Like I often say, we are working with a relatively small set of numbers that can cause our numbers to swing from one extreme to the other. So I'd like to see a couple more sets of numbers in this range before I call it a solid downward trend. When we look at some larger samples of numbers, January had a gain of around 5.9% comparing 2025 to 2024. February had a gain of 6.7%. And so far for the month of March, we're sitting at about plus 2.3%, so 2.3% higher. Earlier this week, we were sitting at only 1.8% higher than the same time frame last year, but it looks like prices started to rebound a little bit over the last couple of days, so that's something. Now on to supply. The supply of homes for buyers to purchase continues to move up at a pretty modest rate. It is noteworthy that the number of homes hitting the for sale market each week is a little bit higher than it was last year at this time. And right now, buyers have about 33% more homes to choose from compared to last year at this time. Buyer demand continues to inch up week to week, as it should, but compared to last year's numbers, demand is still lagging, and last year wasn't necessarily a great year for buyer demand. The number of purchase contracts agreed to by buyers and sellers has been lower than last year's numbers for 3 of the last 4 weeks. However, the number of lockbox opens, one of our best measures of high intent buyers out looking at homes with their agents, was up only about 3% over last year, but at least it's a positive number. Affordability is a big hurdle for buyer demand, and that brings us to mortgage rates. After a small dip in rates at the end of last week, we're back to that very familiar range of around 6.5% to 6.625% for the 30-year fixed, best case scenario. Coming down the line, we have the Fed's preferred inflation report coming out on Friday morning. That's one that the market pays a lot of attention to and could move rates in one direction or the other depending on what we see in that report. As usual, if that report comes out before I release this video on Friday morning, I'll post the update right over there. And there you have it, the highlights for this week. If I missed anything or there's something specific that you'd like to know, please drop a note in the comments and I will definitely follow up. Otherwise, I will see you right here next week.